Good day. Good day, good day. Don't I look wonderful? So today is day 23, and it's Saturday, May 25th. It's a little past noon. Riley and I got off to a late start today. Later than usual, even though we normally get off to late starts. We didn't get on the trail until about 11:30, and haven't been hiking for too long. But we just got to this unusual pond, which we don't, at least in the southern states, we don't see many ponds. So I think this is like one of the first ponds like this that we've seen. There's a cool little enclosure there, and it's just like a stone wall on the other side to prevent it from overflowing onto the other side. And there's a cool bench here. Let me show the bench. Nice bench. I got some snacks laid out so I can take a nice break here. Thought it'd be a good time for an update. So I got into the tent site last night, and I showed the tent, and then I said I'd give a update on the day, and that did not happen. I was just really tired and just put my head down, and I did check the mileage as far as where we were at. So I recorded that. It was like mile 278.5 according to Far Out. So Riley and I did 3.6 miles out of Hot Springs yesterday, and it was a little after 8 when we got to the campsite. So just to rewind a little bit, when I got to Smoky Mountain Diner, just before I started eating the skillet breakfast that I was so looking forward to doing, I mentioned that I did not have a good night the previous night. And the whole reason for that is because of me trying to do this YouTube thing. There's a frog over there making some frog noises. So prior to getting to Hot Springs, I had three kind of goals. One was to get to Smoky Mountain Diner and try the skillet breakfast. Another one was to get to the outfitter store and try to replace my bear canister with an Ursack. And the third thing was to try to catch up on posting all the YouTube videos that I've been taking out here using the Wi-Fi at whatever hostel I stayed at, which turned out to be the Laughing Heart. And I was able to make progress on the YouTube part. Prior to getting to Hot Springs, I had only posted day 0, which was just on the approach trail, and day 1, which was the first time I got to Springer, plus getting to Hawk Mountain. That's all I had posted as far as on-trail content, even though when I got to Hot Springs, it was day 21 of the hike. So I had like 20 days to catch up on. And the YouTube uploading process, it's very time consuming. And it's not just the YouTube part of it. It's first extracting the videos from my GoPro to my phone, making sure there's enough space on my phone to accommodate everything, because I only have 64 gigabytes of space on my phone. So I've been able to make it work for the most part, but only by being creative and deleting like every unnecessary thing that I have on my phone, as well as trying to minimize the size of certain applications by deleting the application and then reinstalling it, which helps to remove some garbage that has accumulated over time. And anyway, so that's one piece, just extracting the videos from GoPro to my phone. Then I need to order everything in my video editor. Even though I don't do much editing, I do need to order everything, which I use iMovie for. And so getting it into iMovie is fairly easy. But then once everything's ordered in iMovie, I need to get it back into my Photos app. So there's a process to save the video from iMovie to my Photos app. And that is a very time-consuming process in itself. That's even before doing anything with YouTube. that can take like an hour easily. And then once it's back in my Photos app, then I'm finally ready to upload the video to YouTube. There's a middle step there where I need to create a thumbnail, which is not very difficult. I can do that in like 5 minutes or so, now that I'm used to the process. But then the next step is to upload it to YouTube. And so the YouTube part has like an upload part, which is very time consuming. It can also take an hour or so. And then it has a processing part after that, which can take not usually as long as the upload, but it might take a half hour or so. And this is all assuming like a good Wi-Fi connection. So just for one day's video, it could take like 3 hours just to take the videos from my GoPro and actually get a video uploaded to YouTube. And it turns out that I ended up not getting any sleep at all, like not a wink of sleep at Laughing Heart. I paid $15 for a tent site on their very comfortable grass lawn, and I set my tent up, but I spent the entire night inside where they have the private rooms and the bunk room. I just stayed in the common area because that's where they had good Wi-Fi. Had I been in the tent, I wouldn't have had access to Wi-Fi. In retrospect, I probably should have kind of just set up a process where I stayed in the tent while I was waiting for either the upload process to work or the process to go from iMovie to my Photos app, and then just walked back inside periodically during the night to check on things and see if I needed to do something manual to advance to the next step. But the reason I didn't do that is because I was concerned I would just fall asleep and just waste like an hour or so, or multiple hours of time where the phone is just sitting there not doing anything. Anyway, so it turns out that I basically just stayed in the common area the whole night. Riley slept on the floor. He didn't get a good rest. He tried. I mean, he did his best to sleep on the floor next to me. And I somehow managed to not fall asleep. I was just so excited to be in hot springs, and also I was right in the kitchen area, right outside the kitchen area. So I was able to make myself a good dinner and snack on some of the unwanted food that was left in the refrigerator. So I had like as much soda as I wanted. I had some coconut milk. I had a bunch of yogurt packets. I made myself a good dinner of rice and lentils and tomato soup, and like 2 cans of tomato and vegetable soup. And then I added a whole bunch of the various sauces that were in the refrigerator to make it taste good. So just the excitement of getting to hot springs, and also like being able to just eat kind of continuously throughout the night, helped to maintain my energy level up, where, I mean, I wasn't feeling good, but I didn't just crash and fall asleep. And I was motivated to stay alert so that I could make sure the YouTube process continued. Anyway, so I was able to I definitely made progress, but compared to what I would have liked to have made, I'm frustrated with the process. So I was able to get up to day 10 uploaded to YouTube, scheduled so that each video comes out once a day. And that will continue up through June 1st. And then it'll stop there unless I'm able to, or until the time that I'm able to upload more videos. So I definitely made a good dent in my collection of videos, but as I said, when I got to Hot Springs, I was up to day 21. So I stayed up the entire night, getting no sleep, and I was only able to upload half of the videos that I wanted to. And on top of that, because I was so focused on uploading videos, I really didn't have time to talk to anybody. So when people tried to start up a conversation, I was only half involved in the conversation, and it just felt like annoying to me that people were talking to me, which isn't anybody's fault who is there. It's just that my priorities were shifted to getting YouTube videos uploaded, and so I didn't enjoy the experience of being in the hostel as much as I would have otherwise if I wasn't focused on the YouTube part. But the biggest frustrating thing was just that I didn't get any sleep. So this is all my choosing. Nobody's like forcing me to do any of this. I'm choosing to do all this myself. So I realize that. And I just need to, part of me is just like amazed at how people who hike and post on YouTube regularly, how they're able to do it in a way that doesn't kill them from lack of sleep. They must have some secret formula that I'm not aware of. So going forward, one thing that I'm planning to do is to take fewer shots during the day and try to make them shorter, so that the ultimate video that I upload is shorter and hopefully takes less time. And I'm also hoping to, when I get to a hostel, that I will just find a way to be more efficient there in terms of combining the sleep that I get with the YouTube upload part. So I'll try to, if I'm tenting, I'll try to start one of the processes that I need to start for uploading a video, set my phone down near a charger where it's got good access to Wi-Fi, go into my tent so I can get some rest, and then I'll just need to try to find a way to wake myself up periodically so I can make sure the process continues throughout the night, but I still get some rest. That's what I'm thinking right now. So we'll see how that works. The next town that we're going to get to is Irwin, which is 70 miles from Hot Springs. And we'll be there in a matter of days, certainly within the week. And I'll hopefully be able to test out that process when we get there. So apart from the YouTube process, which was frustrating, I was definitely pleased that we got to the diner yesterday and really enjoyed the breakfast, even though I wasn't as hungry as I would have been if I hadn't snacked all night long on the hostel food. And then once I got everything packed up and we started walking down Main Street in Hot Springs, we were able to stop at the Outfitters store, Bluff Mountain Outfitters, and they had one Ursack bag left, 15 liter. And I was interested in either a 15-liter bag or a 20-liter bag. I wasn't really sure which size, but they only had one bag, which is a 15-liter, so I decided to buy that. And I was able to mail my beer canister home, along with a few other things. I mailed my puffy jacket home, and I also mailed my rain jacket home, which is kind of reckless. But I'm thinking that the rain jacket that I had was particularly heavy, and it's also getting warmer. We're getting more into summer. So I'm thinking that if there's a heavy rainstorm, that I'll just do my best to get to a shelter or set my tent up as quickly as possible and get out of the rain. And just keep my fingers crossed that it doesn't rain too often now that we are out of Georgia. I think Georgia, I think, is the one state that gets the most rain on the trail. So I'm thinking and hoping that we'll get rain less frequently going forward. And when we do get it, hopefully it'll be more of a comfortable style rain where it's cooling us off rather than a really frigid rain. So that's definitely a risk that I'm taking, but I'm excited for the positive side of the risk in that it's going to really reduce the weight on my pack even more. And so once I got the thru-hike bag all filled up, let me actually pull it out and show it, and got the bear canister out of my bag. Riley is being very patient here. This is my thru-hike bag. It's a 15 liter. The bag itself weighs about 8 ounces, maybe a little over 8 ounces. And it can hold up to 15 liters of food, which is actually a little bit more than my bear canister was able to hold. But the best thing about it is, well, number one, it's lighter weight. Number two, it's way more comfortable in my pack because it's soft-sided. That's actually the number one benefit of it. I was having a lot of trouble just being comfortable throughout the day with the bear canister digging into my back. I actually have like scars and rashes on my back that will heal, but that are a direct result of carrying the bear canister. And number three, it's so much easier to pack my pack. I can actually close my pack now easily, whereas before it was always a challenge to fit everything inside my pack in a way where I could actually close it tight in a way that's easy. So it takes less time to pack my pack now. I can close it easily. It's much more comfortable as I eat the food down. That now I'm actually it's gonna be even easier to close my pack because the thru-hike bag will take up less and less space, whereas before the canister just takes up a fixed amount of space regardless of how much food I'm holding in it. And now when I first put the pack on, and like after switching the canister to the thru-hike, it's like night and day in terms of what it feels like. It feels like I'm actually just carrying like a regular pack now. Whereas before, it was like I was carrying bricks in my pack almost. And my shoulders feel so much better now. And like my shoulders were taking a lot of stress before with all the weight I was carrying. And I just feel much less stress on my back now that I've reduced the weight, mostly from switching to the thru-hike from the canister, but also by deciding to send home the 2 jackets plus a few other things. Like I sent home a 7-ounce jar of Vaseline that I was carrying, that I decided I'm not really using it all that much, and it's going to save some weight. And I'm still carrying Riley's Musher's paw wax. And I figured I can also use that paw wax in place of Vaseline if I need it for myself. Like it's not just good on paws. I feel like it can be used on skin as well to help out various things that I would otherwise use Vaseline for. Anyway, so even with the lack of sleep, I'm pleased. The biggest thing that came out of Hot Springs is making my pack so much more comfortable. All right, so that's the update. We hiked out of Hot Springs yesterday. It was really hot, but fortunately we were able to get in the shade as we were hiking up, and it started to cool down a bit. And it's amazing to me that I was able to hike out of Hot Springs without a wink of sleep. By the time the day closed down yesterday, I was really ready to just find a campsite. I actually camped without any water last night. I wanted to get water initially before camping, but I ended up deciding as we were getting closer to ending the day that I just wanted to find a campsite, and I didn't care about water because I drank enough in Hot Springs that I wasn't thirsty, and Riley had done the same. And I was just ready for sleep last night. So Riley and I both had a good night's sleep last night. Riley was actually not walking very well yesterday at a hot spring, she was just really ready to plop down and take a break multiple times as we were hiking up. And I assume that was partly due to the hot weather, the heat, but also just because he did not get a good night's rest. Like he got better rest than I did because he actually got some sleep, but it wasn't his normal quality sleep where he can really zonk out. Because he just had a small floor mat to lie on. It wasn't really big enough. So anyway, so last night we got in our tent, we both got very good sleep. So I feel much more refreshed today. And this is turning into a long video, so it's gonna, when I get around to uploading it, it's gonna take a long time. But going forward, I'm gonna try to make the videos shorter. Still try to capture like interesting moments, but I'm gonna try to make them shorter so that just the whole YouTube process and uploading everything can be quicker, and will take less time when I get to hostels in the future. All right, so we'll check in later. Hope you're doing well, and bye for now. There is a gravesite memorial. Several stones in memory. Rex R. Pulford, September 22nd, 1920 to April 21st, 1983. Come on, Riley. Okay. Day is going fine for us. By the way, I got a new bug net at the Bluff Mountain Outfitters. That was the other thing I purchased in addition to my Ursack bag. And I'm wearing it right now. So this is how it looks on me. Feels nice and new. It's got more elastic on the end of it, so it like kind of hugs my neck better than the previous one did. And it feels more open around. It feels like I have more, like it doesn't just fall right down on my face. It's more like a kind of puffy around my face, so I have more space. I got this bug net not because I didn't like my other bug net, but my previous bug net, a couple days before Hot Springs, there were some day hikers that were hiking in on the trail, and they passed me, and then they turned around and passed me again. And I believe, like oftentimes when I see other hikers approaching me on the trail, when I'm wearing my bug net, I'll take it off before they get to me, just so that I can look a little more normal when I'm talking to them. And I think I took it off and I may have accidentally dropped it. And that's how I lost it. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that shortly after seeing the hikers, I realized that my bug net was not on my head, whereas I remember previously that I was wearing it and it wasn't anywhere in my pockets. And I did actually try hiking back a little bit to see if I could find it, but I had no luck with doing that, and I didn't want to hike back too far because I wasn't really sure where it was. So I knew I was a couple days away from hot springs, so I decided I would just give up on it and get a new one. So this one cost $5. So it's nice that it's an inexpensive piece of gear, and it's totally worth the price. I just love how it, when I'm not wearing it, I can easily get annoyed when either bugs hover around my face or when I run into spider webs on the trail, and the bug net just totally protects me from all that. So I wear it more often than I need to, just because I appreciate the protection that it provides. So this is my bug net. I am certainly happy with it, and I will hopefully hold on to it very well. I mean, I don't often lose bug nets, but it just happened that I lost the previous one, and hopefully this one will stay with me for a while. We passed several hikers on the trail already. There was a lookout tower called the Rich Mountain Fire Lookout Tower. And it was a few miles away from a road, and today's a Saturday. And several of the hikers that I passed indicated that they'd gone up specifically to view the lookout tower. So I'm guessing that is one of the main factors that caused there to be so many day hikers on the trail today. So as a result of so many day hikers, Riley was playing the game again, where we pass some people and he stops and waits for them to catch up, and then if they pass us, then he is motivated to hike on. So we were playing a lot of waiting and walking earlier, but we're past the lookout tower now and haven't seen any other hikers on the trail since then. So I think we should be able to enjoy some peace and quiet and alone time on the trail for the rest of the day. I'm very introverted, and while I do enjoy talking to other hikers, I definitely need my alone time along with Riley to decompress and get my spirits up again. So that's our update, and we'll check in later. This is another grave site on the trail. Jacqueline May Kelly Morris, June 15th, 1940 to September 9th, 1990. 50 years. Let's go, Riley. Come on, buddy. What? Ugh. Ugh. All right, so Riley and I are in our tent now. It's about 9:30, and just want to close out the day. So I have my AT AWOL guide here, and you can see here, this doesn't seem like it comes in very clearly here. Yeah, it really doesn't come in clearly, so I'm not going to try to do that. But we started the day, got up late, got on trail about 11:30. It was sprinkling this morning, but the main reason was that Riley and I were just operating on very little sleep from 2 nights ago. So we needed to sleep in and catch up on sleep this morning. And it was a very beautiful day on trail. We had a lot of day hikers early in the day that we were seeing either coming southbound toward us or we were passing. And Riley was got into the game of wait and then rush and wait and rush as hikers were near us. But then once we got past the lookout tower up on Rich Mountain, we kind of got past the various day hikers and were mostly to ourselves. We did get to the shelter called, I believe, Spring Mountain Shelter. Got there about, I didn't check the time exactly, but I'm guessing it was a little past 5. And there was one hiker there who was already planning to stay there for the night. His name was Freedom. And then a couple other hikers showed up after who also were planning to stay for the night. Riley and I took a break there and had a conversation with Freedom. And that was nice. But then we decided to continue on because we had done less than 10 miles at that point on the day. So we continued on and hiked a little bit into the evening, and eventually we made it to this place called Log Cabin Drive, and there was actually a sign at the road that said Trail Magic, and it said free homemade cookie and filtered water and trash can. And we got out into the road. It was just a gravel road, and there was a house like 100 yards down that we could see. But we got there, when we got there, it was already like close to 9 o'clock at night, and I figured it was probably too late for us to show up and surprise the people that lived there. So we decided we wouldn't try to partake in the trail magic. I assume it's offered probably just during the day. And we just continued on a little bit, and we were able to find this campsite. So, good day. It was kind of like a day to get back into the swing of hiking after being in hot springs and not getting good sleep while we were there. So overall, according to Far Out, we're at mile 291.8, and we did 13.3 miles on the day. So that's good. And Riley's tired now, and we're going to go to bed soon and try to get an earlier start to the day tomorrow. So I hope everyone's doing well. We'll sign off for the night and check in tomorrow. Bye for now.